This is the this is the Monday Night Men's Forum. Tonight, number 20, Don't Fit In. I am Matt DeRozier of A Farm Hop Life, and tonight we have...
Christopher.
Who are you with?
I'm with working on Secure Coop, Secure Farm, and all sorts of backyard for the small ag guy security products.
Nice. Cool. Thank you for being here. And Padre, who are you?
I'm the owner of the Smith Homestead, smith-homestead.com.
Do you want us to refer to you as Padre? Is that preferred?
It is preferred just because of the doxing I've been through this year twice already.
That's right. I remember that. That's fine. That's totally fine. Man. Well, so let's share personal events like within the last week or whatever happened over the weekend. Mm-hmm. Christopher, why don't you go first?
Yeah, today I had to have a long video conversation because I'm stuck in Illinois and my family is almost directly underneath the eye of the hurricane coming in Florida. And I'm like, oh crap. Well, we're far enough inland that the winds aren't going to likely be too much problem, like probably power outages, and but not like picking up flattening houses, because once you're far enough inland, the effects are mostly on the coast. And we're also on enough of a rise that I don't expect anything like flooding at all. We're just like 50 feet above sea level, and all around is 20 feet of drop, and so that's not a concern. What I do get concerned about is we're in an RV, and those hurricanes tend to spin up tornadoes. So my wife, and of course power outages. Today I walked the family through how to start the generator. We got a successful start. How to hook up the inverter if the generator isn't working. How to protect the things in the house, how to fold up the awning on the RV, and so we did that all over video chat today. And I'll be coming home, Lord willing, on Sunday, which is after all the fireworks. So I'll be coming into who knows what the conditions will be like on Sunday. So we'll see.
Dang, dude, that's gotta be scary.
Yeah, it's a little scary. It's a little scary. But if we hadn't been through so darn many hurricanes in the past, I would be really nervous. But it's one of those things. You grow up in Florida, it's second nature. It's not it.
Sure.
The stuff you see on TV is all coastal, and it's always like in one concentrated area. So even if you're on the coast, if you're just 5 miles from the mess, you're in great shape. It's like,
gotcha.
You might have power. Yeah. So there's a lot of theatrics, and it's the easiest natural disaster to prepare for. I mean, you can see it coming a week in advance, so.
Gotcha.
So
I my TikTok feed has been very populated with like tornadoes in like the Florida area, kinda, I think. And that's been crazy to watch. Why is that person just standing there? Like, I know I've never seen a tornado. Never got to experience all that fun. I've seen Twister, but that's about it.
Yeah. Now my wife has lived through one to a tornado. She heard the noise. They had to duck under the table, and she heard the sound across the street. Sounded like a train. So it was intense.
That is intense.
Yeah.
We got. Oh, where's the cursor? There.
There he is.
How's it going, Guy?
Hey, Guy.
You're muted.
Yeah, sorry, I muted myself. I'm going to unmute myself, or I'm going to remute myself in a little bit.
All right.
I just wanted to drop in and say hi, because I haven't said hi in a long time. So
No, you haven't. You've been busy. We can clearly see you're in the woods, as usual, just
cool
framing your house.
Not my house, somebody else's.
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, so I'm working till dark most days, but anyway, I'm probably just hopping out, but I just wanted to say hi. I felt bad that I haven't been in any of these for like months. So
that's all right. It happens. People cycle in and out. Just just real quick, how's your daughter doing?
Oh, good. She's been fine.
Got, like,
She's back
kids,
to her old ornery self.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, your daughter that fell, but also your baby daughter, like
the new one. Oh yeah.
yeah, the new one.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's huge.
She's huge.
Oh yeah.
About how old?
She was 9 pounds when she came out. She's 3 months now.
Gosh dang.
Yeah.
How old? How much did you say she weighs?
Well, she was 9 pounds when she came out, so I don't know what she's at now, but
okay.
She's beefy. Oh yeah,
chunker. Mine just about turned 3 months, and she's like 10.5 pounds right now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, yours is probably double that or something. I don't know. They just make them bigger in Alaska.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah, she's like she's the second real big one we've had, but the other ones are kind of smaller. So, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Well, hey man, thanks for dropping in, and
good seeing you guys.
Thanks for the update. Yeah, see ya.
Yeah, take it easy.
Now, Matt, for whatever reason, you're frozen on my end.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah,
because my internet sucks.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Until someone gifts me a subscription to Starlink or literally anything else, I'm stuck with this. So
I hear you.
Padre, give us whatever we were talking about. An update. Yes, personal event.
Yeah, so this week I've been doing this past week I've been doing a lot of thinking and recap on my last 2.5 years of doing what I've been doing. And I've really come up with a list of major areas of improvement. So I've been making a game plan, and I will be spending this winter. I have several projects, I have several ideas, and I'm going to be making some big changes around the farm to become more productive and to hopefully increase my income and things like that. So a lot of reflection over the past week.
Is that you had also said, like, on Twitter and in the Telegram chat that we're in, about exiting social media. Is that also is that completely separate or something to do with it?
That's separate from it. That's a personal decision I'm making, and I think a lot of people freaked out. Like, I will still be on there from a business standpoint. I'll still have a showing with my business. It's just my personal account will be on my personal thoughts and reflections, and all the people I make mad won't have to worry about me anymore. So
no more doxing, maybe. What spawned this change? Just like, just what spawned this hard look?
It's spiritual. It's I get tired of seeing the things that's all over social media, that's in the news media, and some days it's kind of draining. Like, I don't go looking for it. I'm not one to watch the news, read the newspaper, or anything. But some days something crosses my mind, like somebody's raped and killed a 5-year-old child. Like, it just destroys my mood and my spirit. And I was like, I don't really need that. I know I don't need that negativity going on with my life spiritually, as I'm trying to move closer to God. And I homeschool my kids. I'm stay-at-home dad, and if I spend 30 minutes on Twitter, it's 30 minutes less I'm spending with my kids, or I'm spending on the farm, actually doing things. So it's just trying to simplify my life and get back to what's important and kind of push that negativity out.
Yeah, it's kind of like the like, if the left hand is causing you to sin, cut it off type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like a sin. It's just distracting you from God, more or less.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep. I get it.
Yeah, a lot of respect for that.
Yep. Definitely. Well, that's cool, dude. What I'm curious, what kind of efficiencies are you still, like, kind of penciling it out? What kind of efficiencies you're trying to improve upon on the farm, or like kind of like little details, or what?
I'm still looking at I'm still doing a lot of penciling things out. I've identified most of my problems, so I'm still working on the actual solution. But I want to get some
That
things up.
helps.
Like, yeah, I want to get some things up, like crop production. I want to get up, figure out a better system, such as irrigation. Instead of spending 45 minutes every evening with a water hose, you know, I mean, I have all the supplies for a nice irrigation system, a nice drip system. I've never installed any of it. It's been sitting in my shed for 2 years. Just things that I need to get off my tail and do that would just make life easier. I have figured out a way to reduce my time, like in the chicken coop. Yeah, I'm spending 5 minutes a day tops out there now.
Nice.
About 15 minutes one day of the week and 5 minutes the other days.
What
And
was
we're looking at do it.
What was taking your time, and what'd you change?
The way I was watering and feeding and cleaning was really taking up my time, and I put in a water storage tank out there. So it's literally flip a valve, let the water go. I did that a little while back. What I'm wanting to do is put a like the valve in the back of your toilet, right? A little floater valve.
Flip valve.
Yeah, I want to put a floater valve out there so when the water gets low, it just kicks on. When the valve gets up, it kicks back off again. And just take that away from me. That tank, I have rain catchment, but if it doesn't rain, it'll hold water for a month. So it's something I wouldn't have to worry about, but once a month during the dry time, right? Feeding wise, we've always had we've always gone out and thrown out the chicken scratch and just fed them. It's kind of like a little ritual we've done since the very beginning of all this. And I decided I wanted to automate that a little bit as well. So I actually went and got a couple of deer feeders. And so I got deer feeders sitting out there. They're solar powered with a timer. A friend of mine got out hunting, told me I could have them. Cool. And grabbed those, stuck them out there. So now they're on a feeder every day. Timer kicks on, spins out food for them. And it holds 25. Yeah, it holds 25 pounds at a time, I think. And I got 2 feeders out there. So, it's just I'm automating everything from that standpoint. So it'll become collect eggs, make sure everything's functioning, and go about the other chores around the farm.
Yeah, and there's a way to even collect the eggs. You get with me on the side. There's a way to make your nest box such as that the egg rolls out the back and down a ramp.
Well, they would have to use a nest box.
What's that?
They would have to use a nest box.
So
every hen I have has a nest box.
Yeah.
None of them use a nest box.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah, there might be a way to coax them. I haven't looked into it, but I wrote that down, deer feeder, because I'm going to be after I fix the coop door opener. I'm going to be moving into areas like automatic feeding and things like that. So
I could get a notification when my feed is getting low in the deer feeder. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, and keep an eye on that and all that, and do it on a timer and on a schedule how you want it.
Good.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm not a purist homesteader by any means. We got technology. Let's use that technology.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Better life through technology.
Right. It's called force multiplier. You're doing less work, fewer steps where that lets you concentrate your efforts on other activities. So yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Yeah. Just talking about his life more efficient.
I was like, I'm scattered again. Scattered this time, not frustrated, Christopher. Once we get rolling, I'll probably get flustered. Personal event. So I had 2 buddies over on Saturday, and we got quite a bit of the fence, like that I'm putting up, established, and then finished up as much as I could yesterday between myself, my mother-in-law holding one end, and then my wife like trading her out, and all last week I was sanding the rails that I needed because I bought them used and they had like this ugly red on them, and so for it to all like look nice with the house. And like here's the thing. A lot of people just kind of like slap stuff together to get it done and call it done. Like, yeah, you got it done. But for me, like, yeah, I'd like that, but it also needs to look good.
If you're going to Airbnb,
I'm a sucker. Well, not just for that, but like, I live here. I want it to look good. And so if it takes a little extra time, and for me, if it looks nicer, that's fine. But like, if it looking nice is getting in the way of you getting it done, well, then maybe we need to, maybe you need to reprioritize a couple of things. But
how does that fit with the theme of the talk? Don't fit in. Does it? Is there any pressure? It doesn't fit it. You're not. I know. I wanted to think about that, because if you're thinking, appearances, is there any impulse in you that's saying, I've got to do this because my neighbors are looking?
Oh, I don't care about fitting in with my neighbors whatsoever.
Cool.
Like, so the one next to me, it's like a bunch of plus or minus like 2 acre lots. So some are like 2 1/4, some are 2 1/2, some are 2, whatever.
It's like ours. It's like our place.
Yeah. So the one next to me has no fence at all. The one across the street from me has like 6-foot deer fence and like a gate that, so like deer just cannot enter his property unless like last summer, it somehow like a little fawn that like had a broken neck inside his property. He thinks that a mountain lion like got it for some reason, jumped over his fence to like take care of it, I guess, and then left. I don't know, because those things can jump like 11 feet or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like telling him before I even built the damn thing about my fence. He's like, well, that won't keep deer out. I'm like, I don't care. I don't I don't need it to keep deer out. Like, I don't care if deer pass through my property.
Right.
Well, what about your garden? Like, I'll figure it out then. I'll pull a Padre and plant 1,000 marigolds in my garden. Keep the deer away.
Or as Jack Spirko likes to say, you're growing a deer garden. You can harvest deer off of 50 cents worth of seed. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Except, so the zone that I'm in are different rules than literally the guy across the street. So like right down the middle of the road, like I have more strict rules. I'm the edge of the brown. Whatever, it's fine.
Well, I mean, there's rules, and then there's rules that at the end of the world, end of the world as we know it, those rules are going to get bent and ignored.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that, Padre?
You have rules, and then there are suggestions.
Oh, and suggestions, yes.
Yeah.
These super strong suggestions could make it that I don't hunt in Montana ever again. So I think I'm going to follow them.
Wow.
That's why they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where I live at, goat and sheep are considered special livestock. You actually have to have a permit to own them.
Whoa. That's nuts.
To own goat and sheep.
That's nuts.
I do not have a permit. Nobody I know around me has permits. Only one person's ever been busted.
Wow.
And what the inspector, or my dad's neighbor is an inspector, asked him about it, and he's like, basically if nobody complains, that's not one they really enforce. So yeah, there's rules, and then there are suggestions. That's my example of a suggestion.
I like that. The it's kind of like legal for a fee.
Yeah.
So let's get into the topic of don't fit in. I threw in the email. I threw out a couple of suggestions, like family, friends, work, anything like that. Is there something that immediately like, yep, I don't fit in with this particular group with you guys?
I mean, yeah, I can't find a political party where I'm really at home. So
I think that's most homesteaders.
And I can't do anarchy. I just can't do anarchy. So
that's fair.
Yeah. For me, it's my family. I'm the black sheep. No, nobody else does what I do. Nobody else thinks the way I think.
Question for you, Joseph, Padre. Can your family, like you have siblings? Yes.
Yes, I'm the oldest of 9.
Do you? Wow. Do any of them call you or text you or are you in regular communication?
One sister. I talk to her regularly.
Out of 8.
Yes.
That's not good.
And it's only been recent, and it's been weird. She's coming more to the dark side with me. She came over. She called me out of the blue one day, and she's like, "I want to show you my gun I bought." I was like, yeah, come on over. Like, we come over and we're comparing pistols, and that was very out of character of the person I knew her to be. But she's got a bug out bag now, and like she's slowly coming over to my side of the street.
Dang.
But yeah, it's I mean, I talk to my dad regularly, once, twice a week, but sibling wise, we don't really. I actually have one that doesn't talk to me at all. So,
gosh dang. Numbers wise, that's a lot worse than mine. I have 3 siblings, and for the most part, we don't really talk. Calls, texts, see you at Christmas, see you at 4th of July, maybe. Depends on the year, that kind of thing. When my little girl was still in the NICU, my sister called me to see how she was doing. And that was pretty much it. Like, I talk to my parents once a week. Sometimes it goes a little longer, but yeah, black sheep of the family. Couldn't tell you what it is. One, the distance doesn't help because they're still all in Minnesota. So like, I just don't see them that often. But then they're like, I'm always the one that has to initiate any like calls or texts or anything. And it kind of feels like, why am I doing all this heavy lifting when they're not really, it doesn't feel like they want to reciprocate. And like, I know a lot of people are big into like family and whatever, and they're like, just keep making an effort, when you're old and they're gone, you're going to wish you keep making effort. Like, yeah, maybe. But like, if they're too busy to even like, I don't know, or if like, am I even like a thought of theirs throughout the month? I guess, I don't know. So it's like, why bother, kind of.
Well, our big split came from COVID and vaccination and politics. And so it's only been the
black
past
sheep on that
years.
too. So maybe that's part of it.
I am too. But I didn't push it, and my family, I saw some things and got on the phone and said, "Hey, I'm really concerned. Please don't take this thing." And that was just where I left it. I didn't make it. As far as I know, I'm the only one in my family who hasn't had the shot. So,
yeah. I think I'm the only one in mine.
Yeah. And I just didn't push it because they're going to do what they're going to do. I can tell them about it. I can warn them about it, but I'm not going to divide over it. I'm just going to let it go, so.
Yeah. I tried to smooth things out with my sibling, this past May at my dad's birthday party, and they wouldn't even talk to me. When I was talking to them, wouldn't look at me, wouldn't talk to me, never said nothing to me afterwards. So, wow. I just left it at that. If they ever communicate with me, it's great. I'm not ever trying again. My priority is my wife and my kids.
Yeah, there you go.
So, if my siblings step out and they don't want anything to do with me, I still got my family here with me. So that's the big thing.
That verse, Proverbs 18:24. Man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who stays closer than any brother. So yeah, you get into your circle, your church family, or whatever, your friends, and they stick closer than a brother.
Church is the other place I don't fit in.
That's interesting. Tell me about that.
My wife's Baptist. She was raised Baptist, Southern Baptist. we've been an independent Baptist church for years. So I wasn't raised in church at all. I was actually atheist for a good portion of my life. Dabbled in the occult for a little while in my teenage years and converted 9 years ago, roughly. Then figured out that I'm not a Baptist, and that's been very awkward. Where I live at, it's a Baptist church on every corner. So
yeah, same here.
Catholics are big in my area. I'm not a Catholic. I've looked into it, but I'm a spiritual outcast in the spiritual community around me.
Dirty shame.
Is it because of your background? So like you said, you converted, but you don't feel like part of the church community because of the background, or what?
I've been to 3 Baptist churches since converting, and ran into the same thing everywhere. And I don't mean like the hypocrites. There's hypocrites in every church, so that statement's so very true. A lot of bashing of other people in the independent fundamental Baptist church, and a lot of it's all about money. I really think it's all about money. Every preacher I know in that denomination lives very well, and most of their congregation is very poor. And things like that bothers me. My wife's preacher. He just we got people in the church that are hungry, and I used to run the food ministry. They just shut that down recently. And he just spent $25,000 on a pond in his front yard because he wanted some cows. And I took a lot of issue with that. Reading a lot of the verses I read in the Bible.
Right.
A teacher should be humble.
Is it on?
Shouldn't show their money. He buys a new car every 6 months. Always got the nice suit on. Then he berates you in church if you're not wearing a nice suit also. So I just turned out. Those are the legalistic reasons, and there's doctrinal issues I had with it too. I don't believe in a rapture, things like that I just wasn't agreeing with that the church teaches, that specific denomination teaches.
It sounds like you have a problem with churchianity, which I do too.
Yeah. I think I may have found a home in Eastern Orthodoxy. I really love it, but the nearest church is over an hour away. With gas prices and everything now, it's not really feasible for me to even make it weekly. So,
yeah, with a name like Padre, I thought that's where you were going.
Well, the name Padre comes from because I went to Liberty University, theology degree. I am ordained, so that's where the Padre in my name comes from.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
I kind of entirely forgot about the church aspect in terms of like not fitting in.
Yeah.
Because grew up Catholic, didn't went all the time because we had to, and I tried to go after moving out on my own, and just it didn't really stick. I have a like issue with authority, and like in the church, it's like man gives man authority. Like, so like you like priest, bishop, archbishop, cardinal, pope. Like, I know there's like a bunch in there, but like those are all like mortal beings, right? And so like they're flawed just by nature, right? And so why don't I just skip to the top and just like go to the source? Basically, I know that there's like there's reasons that they're there, and like we're all flawed, so like it's like relatable and stuff. I just don't like it.
Yeah, that was my turn off to Catholicism and my attraction to Orthodoxy. Orthodoxy talks about the passions of sin, and admit even the priesthood is not perfect in any way. They don't have a grand authority like the Pope. They have a patriarchal council where it's a bunch of equal members that discuss church issues. And And really, it's the tradition that led me that way. I love the tradition of the church. I love the tradition of the rituals and things like that. And that may come from my other religious past, being in the occult and in the witchcraft and all that. A lot of ritual and tradition in that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, we ought to expect that somebody who says they know God, the Creator, there ought to be. Someone described it this way. They said, I'm sorry I'm late to this meeting because I was driving here and I had a flat tire on the side of the highway. I pulled over, and as I'm changing the tire, the lug nut slipped out of my hand. It went rolling out into the traffic, and I wasn't thinking. And I went out and jumped out and grabbed the lug nut, stood up, and there was an 80,000-pound log truck coming at me, and that's why I'm late for this meeting. And you're going, hold on a second. You don't have an encounter with an 80,000-pound log truck and not be affected. And so you got, like, you're looking around at these churches and these people in these churches and that churchianity and going, there's some disconnect between what you're saying and the way it's impacting you. And I'm looking for those people for whom there is a genuine, real, their life gets flipped upside down. Those are the kind of people that inspire me, that I want to be around and follow. Otherwise, I'm like the black sheep, don't fit in. I don't like this churchianity stuff either.
Right.
It's on every corner in America. So,
Padre's phone died. That's what happened.
Bummer. Oh well.
Let's move to another subject. You brought up anarchy, and I'm more with you than not. So, like, on the last episode, I think we were talking. I think it was after the show. We were kind of talking about, like, where do you don't fit in politically, and like, there's a guy I interviewed a while back. His name's Brian. He has the Lots Project podcast, and he said on a show recently that he's like, if you want to give me a label, fine. I don't give a label to myself. If you want to give me a label to make yourself more comfortable with figuring me out, that's on you. Like, and I think that makes a lot of sense, because I don't really have a problem with the term anarchy. I just don't know if that's me.
Right.
And, like, talking about, like, politics, going from whatever conventional D or R to, like, libertarian, and then like minarchism, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
A lot of people go through Ron Paul. Like, everyone talks about the when they found Ron Paul, it was like finding Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? For them, I never had that. Like, I didn't. That's just not how I got to where I am. And so when people were like saying, "Oh yeah, I found libertarianism through Ron Paul," and blah, blah,
I'm the same way. I didn't come through Ron Paul. Right.
So you just feel out of touch there. Like, cool. It's another place you just don't fit in. Do you want to elaborate on that at all, or have more to add?
I can't pick a party where I could be most, but minarchist feels like the most at home. I can't quite go full anarchist. I can see that their arguments have a lot of head, like superficial correctness about them, but I don't think they work when the rubber hits the road. The ANCAP, the anarchist capitalist, not the anarchist communist. I think we all pretty much agree here. The ANCOM, we have nothing to do with that.
Right.
The ANCAP, the anarchist capitalist, the Ayn Rand, and that kind of thing. I don't fit into that, but I don't know anybody who even is running on that kind of a platform, and I don't know anybody who has that kind of exactly kind of an attitude, but but I can see the point in having, Romans 13 talks about the government bearing the sword. I can see the point of an authority saying, no, this is evil, and you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to run over this poor man's property. You're not allowed to steal from him, take his clothes, And I think that kind of thing would just happen constantly in a world with like that's ANCAP, and so I just can't quite go there. But a lot of the things that even libertarians go with, I couldn't go with. So it's just do it. I don't have a home. I just have to go and what are my convictions and find the politician who I feel is the closest match to it and just go with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Seems like some of even like the libertarians have gotten woke, and it's like
some of them have, yeah.
Cool, good for you.
Yeah, I think there's like a schism within the true Libertarian Party that they're starting to see. I don't know enough about it because I'm not in that party, but
right,
yeah,
they get sucked into the BS clown circus. So
yeah,
they kind of forget their place probably. But
no, the fun thing about not fitting in is when you talk to somebody and they want to pigeonhole you and hate you and put a label on you and say, you people are all the same. How come you support, I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, yeah, we really can't afford such and such government project. They said, well, what a hypocrite you are because you support wars. I said, excuse me, you don't know anything about me. And no, I don't support massive foreign interference. I want borders only. I'm not that kind of person. And they just say, well, you're a Republican. If you're not for us, you must be against us. And you must be one of them. It's so much fun to come into a conversation and say,
yeah,
hey, give my thoughts on it and say, oh, by the way, I'm not a Republican. So
right.
They don't know what to do. They run out of ammo at that point. They're like, their brains go because they can't have. I think I would live happy if I had to live in a world where Republicans ruled. I think I would be happier than a world of Democrats, but I couldn't, in good conscience, vote for a lot of them because of some things that they agree with and do with. I'm not there. I'm not there. Used to be. I'm not there anymore. The Republicans feel to me like the party of the Pharisees during the time of Jesus. Like, the self-righteous look at me. I'm good and I've got money and money hungry, and they just feel like the Pharisees of the Bible.
Sure.
I don't jive with that, and it's like clothing of self-righteousness that just drives me up a wall, and watching Fox News just drives me crazy.
Right.
Tucker, I can handle a little bit of Tucker, and then I'm like, okay, no more. He's so smug.
Dude, I hate his face, and
it looks like a horse's rear end.
I don't, dude. He's just silly. He's a silly man. We not to dwell on it too much, but you were talking about like can't quite see like how anarchy could be like operate today. Well, it's like we need to have like that transition. No, anarchy would not work in today's system. Like I've had this like kind of like realization like myself, even like somewhat like recently, like, okay, so like if a whole nation was like anarchist, the rest of the world, like how they operate would be just really I just can't see how like I just can't see how it would work when like, okay, China just like takes like their, I don't know, 5 million soldiers and just like takes over because there's no like, it's just like limited thinking probably on my part. But on the same point, like to play like devil's advocate, if you kind of have like the anarchist like mindset for like yourself and your kids and like your grandkids, they're obviously like allowed to have their own like thoughts and opinions on the matter.
Yeah.
But like, let's go that way. Let's go that way. Right. It's like, so there's this talk about like Web3 coming out, let's get ready for Web 3. What does this mean? How are we going to implement Web 3? And these guys came out. It's like, well, we're going to start Web 5. Like, just skip 4, go to 5. And so just kind of like tongue in cheek. But we eventually will have a Web 4 and a Web 5. So like, let's just go. Okay. It's kind of my, I don't know. It's, I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but.
Not connecting the conversation.
Don't worry about it. We'll move on. Right. Here's another thing that I don't fit in with, like homesteading and farming, people is Joel Salatin. Now, I have nothing bad to say about the man.
Okay.
I have nothing bad to say about the man.
Mm-hmm.
They see him talk, they read his books, they watch his videos, all these things. And again, it's kind of like the Ron Paul thing where they found like their savior in homesteading and farming and regen ag and all this stuff. Like they talk about him just like I was just in awe of the man. Didn't have that connection. I have his book. Like I have one of his books, and I didn't know if that was the one thing that like brought me to do what I'm doing.
Okay.
But I'm not like head over heels in love with the guy.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong that he did. Absolutely nothing wrong. But I'm probably gonna get beat up in public for saying this.
Well, if you have no disagreement with him, you just don't find his whatever appealing. But would you do things the way he does things?
I would. It's just that I don't gush over him like people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's all it is. I just don't gush over him.
And so as a result, you feel like a black sheep in that respect. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm the same way. I look at his stuff and I admire it, but I'm not gushing. And I'm not like the one who the people who most awe me would probably be like Paul Wheaton or Sepp Holzer. Their stuff is cool.
See, I don't know if I gush over anybody. Like I've said before, I've met Paul Wheaton. He's very abrasive and like he will throw stuff out there. Welcome back, Padre.
Hey, Padre.
I had to get to a phone charger.
Yeah, I let everyone know that we'll have to cancel the show or cut it because Padre's not here. So glad we can continue. We were just talking about how like figures in like farming, homesteading, and regen ag. So like people gush over Joel Salatin, and I don't have anything bad to say about the man. I just don't gush over him. And then Christopher brought up Paul Wheaton and Mark Shepard. Having met Paul Wheaton, he's abrasive. He's very like. When I went to go tour his place, he would kind of throw out statements like, "This thing causes cancer," and if nobody pushed back, well, then it's true. Like that's kind of how he runs things.
Oh, that's nuts.
I mean, obviously, I love what he's doing. If I was a single dude in my 20s, I would probably have a plot on his property to learn and be there, absorb all the knowledge, like everything. I would 100% do that. But I'm not a single dude in my 20s. I'm a married dude with 2 kids in my 30s. So
yeah. Oh, I remember we're talking about those top names. I think I look up to Jeff Lawton's work the most. Sepp Holzer and Jeff Lawton just really, and that's where Salatin, I think he's at a level or 3 below those guys. I think he's really good, and those guys just take it to exponential way more,
Do you think Joel? I think Joel Salatin is more popular though.
Yes, for sure, and he fits more into a traditional ag model. so that someone
he
who's looking
bridges
to do
that gap. Sure.
Yeah, he bridges that gap. So he's touching that world where people are familiar and they're able to kind of put their head around what he's doing. Where Sep and Jeff are like in outer space on Venus. They're just in another world. They're really doing some crazy stuff. And,
I'm going to hurt my homestead reputation here. I only know those names by name. I don't know anything about any of those guys. I've never cared to learn nothing against them because I don't know anything about them. But I've been doing my own thing for a decade, and it's just never. I know who Wendell Berry is. And
I know of him. Never read a book, but
yeah, that's about the biggest name I know.
Mm-hmm.
Past that, yeah, I don't. I've heard Joe Salatin's name mentioned a lot.
Yeah,
I've never looked into him.
And what inspires me about those guys, and this is where you may want to pick up and look at least at one or two of their videos, is me being suffering so long with fatigue. Is like, how do I work smarter and not harder? And they really do work smarter and not harder. They think carefully about the way they approach it, and come in there and they do the work more or less. They only do the work once, and then they don't have to continuously do a lot of work. And that's
right.
That's a good way to go. That's a good way to go. So if you'd like to, pick up some thoughts and inspiration about how I can do this with my upfront effort and then coast, those are the kinds of people to look to for inspiration. So
I just posted a photo of me carrying a railroad tie on my shoulder up a hill with the caption like, why are you as a man not doing physically hard things? And then there was like this minor discussion in there, like, well, because I have a tractor. Like, well, I don't have a tractor. And sometimes just doing physically hard things, getting the heart pumping, like there's something kind of like, there's a feeling about that. And like, it's kind of like primal. And I don't know, it just feels good getting your ass kicked sometimes.
See, I'm somewhere in between there. I don't own a tractor, but I do own a pickup truck. So I will move that heavy thing as much as I have to get it into the bed of my truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have like probably 10 years on me, maybe 15 tops. So I still have some of that spunk, I guess, that I'm going to pay for this later, but I want to do it now.
I'm kissing 40, so.
Oh, so you're not that much older than me. Not by much, but
I can tell you there's a big difference between 35 and 40. I have,
cool. I got 3 more years.
Everybody's always like, "Well, how does it feel to be 39 years old?" I'm like, "Oh, it feels like 38." But at some point in time, you realize 39 does not feel like 35 at all.
My warranty ran out at 29, so.
Well, yeah, we were talking with Scott last week, and like he like jumped out of a tree and like messed up his knee or whatever, and so yeah, he's like, I've only done that 10,000 times, and this time it was just different because I'm
that's so different. That's so funny you mentioned that. Not very long ago, I was standing on the tailgate of my truck, and it went through my mind, just hop down, and then I thought for a second, do I really want to risk this? And I have jumped off the tailgate of my truck and been fine. I've done it, and my knee hurts for 3 days afterwards.
Yeah.
you gotta take turmeric with black pepper.
Yeah.
And krill oil.
Yep.
And what oil?
Krill oil.
Krill. Never heard that one.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The last year, my joints have felt really good. I would say, like I'm in my mid-20s again. The only thing different I've done is I started taking krill oil.
Krill. You're saying krill?
Yes. Yeah, krill.
Like,
it's a kind of a shrimp kind of a thing.
Yeah, I was like, whales eat this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Same thing.
Yeah, they go collect it and harvest it and make it into a fish oil capsule.
Yeah, it's better for you than fish oil.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've had
look into that.
I used to have career-threatening pain until I did the carnivore diet. So that was, and that's the same like line of thinking. It's an animal oil, animal protein, animal oil that you get in your body, and your joints just love that stuff. It just eats it up.
What about work? Do you guys fit in? Well, Padre, you're a little different because you don't you work at home.
I don't fit in at work either.
He's the right person to have on this podcast.
You're the weird old man at your job. Christopher, do you fit in at work, or are you pretty you work at home and so you're just secluded and so it's
well, I have to be in the office 3 days a week, but yeah, it's not. I'm trying so hard to be on my own and get out of the office, so I'm not going on that career path like a lot of the other guys are. They're on that career path. They want to work in the office, and they want to do that for the rest of their lives, or they want to do that for the next 20 years. And not me, man. I want to be. If I want an afternoon nap, I want to freaking take an afternoon nap. So, I'm ready to do my own thing. I should be able to at least start selling this year. Maybe in about 3 years or so, I'll be able to do all my own thing on my own. So
nice.
Yeah, I don't fit in that. And my boss came to me one day. He knows I'm trying to do this thing. I have to report it. And he said, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I said, doing my own thing. He said, he's the kind of guy I can talk with him like that. And you don't see yourself with the company at all? Nope.
That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just, it is what it is. But I fit in with the guys, we talk and get along. Yeah. We're good. We have a good team. There's no drama or anything.
Good.
Yep.
When I was working, the worst mistake I ever made was going from manual labor type work into an office. I gained weight. My health went downhill. It was just terrible. Yeah, I don't advise anybody working in an office.
No, I can't. I gotta work with my hands. Especially my posture sucks, and so to be in a chair all the time would be terrible. Plus, I would just spaz out in an office for sure. I can't just sit and stare at a screen doing meaningless tasks. I'll work with my hands and do meaningless tasks. Thank you very much.
That's like my middle son. He's the one I called today to walk him through the generator, walk him through the inverter, because he loves doing stuff with his hands, and I just don't. If I'm I got two left hands, I don't get it. I don't do good stuff. So but he's like you guys. You get him on some building something. So I can't wait we're hoping to build him him and his brother a tiny house, and I know I'm going to put him unleash him, and I'm really hoping that he takes that as a business, as a tiny house business. So that's the hope. So yeah, he just loves working with his hands, and must be a special kind of person that I'm not. So
would you say that your middle son doesn't fit in with that, your family, or you don't fit in with your family because you got two left hands?
No, he's the exception. He's the exception. And we love him to bits because he's so good at that,
Sure.
And so he's not like a black sheep. He's the welcome gray sheep or whatever. Just pick your analogy. Yeah, he's a great kid. He's a great kid.
At work, obviously I'm leaving, and so that made things weird. But even before that, when my son was born, that's when I just didn't want to be at work anymore. I'm like, I got this great thing at home. Obviously my wife's great, and having her is fantastic, but she had a job too. And so, I mean, we'd see each other after work. But then when she was home with her son, it's like, well, now I got two great things at home. Why am I here at work? This sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go home.
Yeah.
Like in the they'll go to the shop to like unload the trucks, and then they'll like BS at the shop for an hour. Like, I'm not getting paid to stand here and BS at the shop. Like, I want to go home.
I'll go home.
Like,
yeah.
Whatever you're telling me, I've heard this story 10 times. Like, it's so frustrating. So like that was annoying. And then, like when you've got a foot and a half out the door, you definitely don't fit in at work, which is totally fine. Like they have a different, like entirely, like they already had like a different work mentality than I did.
Okay.
But now it's just like I am just here until like March 31st, and after that I am gone. See you again, never.
So you're not going to do the journeyman?
No. Oh, so about that. I got railroaded on that.
Yeah.
I suspect. So there was a little tiff between myself and my supervisor, not the owner, but his son. There was a tiff, and I won't. It was kind of dumb. All around, his part, my part, but basically, I gave him I was so pissed off at him. I gave him the cold shoulder treatment for 3 weeks, and then finally he was like, "What's your problem? What'd I do?" And we got into it, not yelling or whatever, but I basically had to tuck my tail, bite my tongue, and say sorry and shake hands essentially. And so I'm basically just wearing a face until I'm done. And so during that little spat we had, I forgot where I was going for a second. During that little spat we had, I suspect he turned me into the apprenticeship program that hey, this guy hasn't been doing his homework. And so apprenticeship lady showed up hey, so where are you at on, because it even surprised the boss. The boss is this came out of nowhere. Where are you at on your homework? I'm like, oh, I'm on this book. And she's like, you should have been done a year ago or something like that. And even the number of hours that I'm at, it almost she was gonna look in it or something like that. I don't know. She you might be too many hours in, kind of thing. So she's like, okay, so how long do you think it'll take to finish your book work? 2-3 months? And I was at the time I was thinking
2-3 years,
probably 6 or 7 months, knowing I would be gone in 8 at the time. just yeah, I'll just kick that can and then be gone. And she's like, we're gonna need you to finish. And I was like, dang. And so I talked about it with my wife over the weekend, and I would go, I just don't know where I'm going to find the time to get this done, because I actually did the math, and realistically I could do it in about 5 months.
Okay.
And I'm like, where am I going to find the time to do this junk? We're trying to prepare for something else. Leave this place, and hit the road, do the farm hop thing. And so I told my boss, I'm I just don't think I'm going to be able to get it done. So I'm just not going to do it. And he goes, well, they're going to suspend your apprenticeship license. And if they suspend it, we can't have you working here. And I was like, well, that wasn't made clear to me. And he goes, oh, I thought that was I thought you understood that. I'm like, I thought I had at least one more slap on the wrist before I wouldn't be able to work. And he goes, no, that meeting was the slap on the wrist. I'm like, well, damn, I guess I have to do this now. And he goes, well, you have a choice. I'm like, kind of doesn't sound like I do. Like if I want, like I don't want to look for a different job at this point.
Yeah.
If I have to, I will, obviously. But and then it was really weird. The son, like after that little meeting, saying like you have a choice. Like, no, I don't. The son came up after. He goes, if you're not happy here, the company will be fine if you just leave.
Huh.
I'm like, okay. That wasn't a concern of mine at all. I gave you plenty of heads up when I was leaving, so I wasn't worried about the company. Like, hands and conscience are clear. Like, it was weird. It was really weird. I think he was trying to get me fired or to just leave or whatever. Yeah. And it's just, it got weird. And so, like, I kind of like panicked and like found a job posted on Craigslist for like $35 an hour. I was like, I can make a whole $10 more an hour. That would be sweet. As a carpenter, I'll go back to carpentry. I kind of liked it better anyways. But we know we do so much work for other contractors around here. I'm pretty sure I know the contractor because it's anonymous, right? And he never emailed me back or anything. But I'm pretty sure I know. Like, and we do work for him. And I'm pretty sure the house, like in the ad, the listing was kind of specific, but kind of vague at the same time. But I think we're doing the house that he needs carpenters on. So I would have been like running into him anyways. But I would be like, whatever. You're not going to pay me $10 more an hour to be like doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to jump ship. If I feel like I'm going to get fired too, I gotta cover my bases. So, anyways, what was the question?
No, about the journeyman. So you're not?
I have to finish.
That. You have to finish. You are going to finish.
I have to finish, or I get fired, basically.
And I'm glad about that for you. No, I like to have tools in the tool chest, even if it's hard to do. I like to have that option available for myself. And I'm thinking myself in your shoes. You don't know what's going to come next year, and
I don't like wasting my time on a maybe.
I hear you.
That's my problem. Like, burning, like, I'm burning the candle in 3 spots, in the ends and in the middle.
If you're exhausted, that's hard to justify. Yep. I guess it's just the Boy Scout in me. I'm always prepared. So.
I will be a black market electrician, and I will say that publicly and proud. I am okay with that. As a counselor.
Yeah.
Consultant. One of them.
Consultant, yeah.
Sure. So you can't sue me or something.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. Yeah.
Did we get it all? I think we got it all.
Yeah. I was going to talk about black sheep as growing up. I definitely was. That's why I'm married, is because my wife thought I was unusual, different, and didn't care what people thought. I would like. I was going to walk across America was a lifelong goal, and so I started to work on that. Never came to pass, but I would carry this enormous backpack just to build up muscles and walk, 6 miles home from school, and that was 6 miles. Yeah, and so it was like I was definitely a black sheep in school coming up. That would have been the only thing I would have added. And it just, we all have our weird points about us, but that's what makes us cool. That's what makes us cool. Just be weird.
Just be weird. Oh, I forgot. I can't believe we almost
meme.
Skipped this.
Yeah, the meme. Show the meme.
What meme? Oh, the weird.
Yeah, thing? The weird meme. Yeah.
Oh, I don't have it ready.
You don't have it. Okay.
Yeah, look for it while I talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Padre.
I was gonna kind of bounce off of what Chris was talking about. I am the black sheep, but it's my own doing. I'm very blunt. I'm very honest. You was talking about the supervisor. You kind of cold shouldered and everything. Like, as soon as I get the hint that there's a problem, like, I'm right there. All right, we're either going to iron this out or we're going to duke it out. Like it's not going to be an ongoing thing.
See,
so I come out very brash to a lot of people, and I think that's what makes me a black sheep amongst many groups. Right? If there's an
Right.
elephant in the room, I address the elephant as soon as I see it.
I normally don't do that. I only did that because I knew we were just not going to see eye to eye. We could duke it out with words for whatever, a day, a week, a year, and we would just never, we would never see eye to eye on what happened. And so I just had to be it was just easier for me to just be pissed about it than bring it up. And so that's why I basically was like, yep, sorry, whatever. Apologies. Let's get back to work kind of thing. That was
and you know, that's not a bad way to be, honestly. You know my story about losing my job at the beginning of the COVID pandemic.
yeah.
I think the reason it was so easy for them to let me go so quickly is because I am the way I am. It's about fitting into work. I never fit in an office. You know, there was no gathering around the water cooler for me and chatting about my weekend. Like I went in, I did my job, I sat in my office, I did what I was supposed to do.
Right.
So I was very, very to the point. I'm not as bad as I used to be, especially since I've come home and I've been homeschooling the kids, and I've really mellowed out and calmed down. It's not, I'm not so in your face to the point, and always got to jump straight to the point.
If I sent you back to the office, I bet you wouldn't be so mellow.
I'll probably sit in the office and just do my job there. I've never been one for cooler talk. I don't like gossip and things like that. So, yeah.
Sure. When we were discussing this topic before, last week, we were discussing last week after we ended, I was like, schools just breed conformity, right?
Yeah, they really do.
You have to fit in with something, somebody, somewhere, somehow.
Yeah. Right.
But none of those people are remarkable. If you fit in, you're not remarkable. If you're weird, like people talk about you and like, you're interesting. You're interesting. You're interesting. Like, because you have these little quirks about you. Like, and so like, if you just stop conforming, you'll probably be more interesting. Or you're just white bread. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Try being weird.
I agree 100%. I encourage my kids to be themselves. Don't care what anybody else thinks. My daughter's 8 and she still wears princess dresses to the grocery store. I'm like, chick, wear it with pride. If that's your thing.
That's cool.
When I was like 5, I would wear like Halloween costumes in the middle of summer. Like I was like dressed up like a leopard with a tail, had like Barney slippers and like a robber's mask or something like that. I would just wear that when like my mom would like take me to the grocery store. I was just super weird. That's what I wanted to wear.
All right.
But
I'm 39 and I own an authentic Viking outfit. So
right now?
Yes, I own it. It's in my closet.
Oh, you have it. I thought you were wearing it. Right now.
Oh no.
Yeah, should have been wearing it.
When the weather cools off, I will wear it around the farm. I don't know why we quit dressing like that. It's so comfortable.
Nice.
Yeah, I found that meme.
Yeah, show it.
Yeah, let's see. Show screen. Okay.
And then we will close up after this.
Yeah. So this meme was drawn by an artist. I tracked down the name of the artist and went to his website, and he was selling posters of this particular meme. So I bought this poster, got it in the mail for my wife because she loved the meme. And I got it in the mail and opened it up and found that he had signed the poster. So the artist, we had this hanging over our couch when we were in a suburb house. But can you see it? Nice. Okay.
Yeah. It's two little creatures. I noticed that you're a weirdo. I'm a weirdo too, but we can't let anybody know they're a bunch of weirdos. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So she loved that, and I had to have it for her, like for Mother's Day or something. And there it hung over our couch. It was so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Be a weirdo. Be a weirdo.
Be a weirdo. And find other weirdos.
Yeah.
Weird out the weirdos. All right. Christopher.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
SecureCoop.com. Get on the mailing list. Get a coupon that way, and use the coupon below. Farm Hop Life Rocks. And if you are a TSP Member Support Brigade member, add that coupon. And if you add up enough coupons, I'll actually owe you money. So I'm building a coop door opener with phone notifications. But after I'm done with the coop door, I'm going to start adding things for the rest of the coop. Coop security, coop water, managing the feed level, managing the water level, the temperature, the air quality, and then I'll begin spreading out to other areas of the backyard, the garden, cameras, deer sensors, all sorts of sensors and things, just about anything that can be automated. So I've been working hard on getting the core just right. The app is close, and I think I'll be able to start selling later on this year.
Awesome.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Yep.
Padre.
Yeah, it's smith-homestead.com. We do soaps, candles. My wife makes jewelry. Everything's handmade, homemade. Only got one product on there that's not, and it's just because I believe in it so much, but it's still made in America. It's made in Vermont. I would like to put a note that from now till at least Sunday, I probably will extend it. Anything anybody buys, 10% of whatever money comes in before profit's made. So I'm not worried about material costs and things. I'm donating it to Florida. It's all going to go to Florida to help with the hurricane.
Oh, you're amazing.
Dang, dude. Nice. Generous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 16 miles north of the Gulf of Mexico. I know what it's like to have a hurricane come through and tear everything up.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks, dude. No, I'm not in Florida, but that's just very, very generous.
Yeah. Very inspirational. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I am Matt DeRozier over Farm Hop Life. You can check us out, farmhoplife.com. We are a traveling homestead family. 6 more months. 6 more months. And I'm out of my job.
Come on.
20 by 23 project, where we're going to help 20 homesteads in the year 2023. And you can help support us. This week's shirt. Padre designed this. Shift your mindset. It's something that he said during our interview. Only available until Friday.
Cool.
Just Friday. Buy a shirt. Buy 10 shirts.
Go get one. I have one. It's awesome.
It is pretty sweet. I like it. My kid was like pointing at all the colors, and he was like fascinated by it. It's cool. It's a badass shirt. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, sorry for being in and out this evening.
It's all right.
I'll make sure I got a better charge for next time.
That's all right. There will not be a men's forum next week. I am out of town again. So we'll pick up in 2 weeks.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Yep. Later.